sort that bit out. Right, hello everyone, and I hope you're having a lovely day today. It is very sunny here in South Yorkshire. We are sweltering. It was not too bad yesterday. It was nice and cool, but it's gone horrible and super hot today. So that's no good. We do not like that. So, hello, Grissom. Nice to see you, buddy. I'm just setting up my laptop so I can see what's going on. Is that right? Yeah. Oh. Oh, where are we? There we go. This is fantastic television. So, hello, Grissom. Yeah, I was actually back from work relatively early today. So, I know I was a minute late going online, but there we go. I forgot to send. Oh, I did forget to send you the link for the package. You are spot on. Let me. I will. I promise I shall do it today. I promise. So this is what we're up to today. We're going to finish off the household cavalry with any luck. They might not be finished, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get them on bases, and then we can do any extra bits from there. Obviously, most of them still need heads, but we are good to go from there. So how is everyone doing today? How's the weather? I've mentioned before, we've got a new computer system at work. It is absolutely horrendous. Yeah, way worse than the last one. So yeah, that's been fun. But how's everyone else's week going? Better than mine, I sincerely hope. David was 2 minutes late, so I'm ahead of the game. Well, that's all we can ask, isn't it? So it's like the guy who puts his trainers on, not so he can outrun the tiger, but so he can outrun everyone else. So warm but overcast, not the brutal heat we've been having. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. It's yeah, I'm hot. Right, so we've got the bases ready. Now I'm just gonna go for the. I'm just gonna go straight for it. Now there is an officer horse. He's slightly different now. He's gonna be a bit of a pain to get to these bits when he's glued on. But you know what? I shall deal with that when we get to it. So we're gonna have officer and trumpeter here. Now I often find it useful to dry fit these because, especially with the pokey arms that these guys have got, they may not necessarily always fit in any order. So we'll have them there like so. He's a bit nonchalant, that guy. I quite like him. Let's have the ones who are actually charging swords up in the front rank. There we are. And then we can have the others a little bit further back. Now, I don't necessarily want these two black horses together, so I'll swap that one for that one. Now, this guy, I'm going to pop in the front rank because he is going to be a standard bearer. Now, I know British cavalry didn't carry their colours into battle, but I don't care. I want them anyway. So there we go. The Scotland Forever painting obviously has the guidon by with the Scots Greys in there. So you know what? If it's good enough for Lady Elizabeth Butler, it's good enough for me. So I'll put them on there. And then this guy, who's also armless, he can go on there. So that, to me, seems a pretty decent unit. As I say, this guy, I'm going to convert him to be a standard bearer. So that's why he gets pride of place there. Well, it's nice to see you on Verse. Good to see you, brother. The bases have come at least. That's good. Just wait for your GMB flags to arrive. Also, a classic Sheffield company. Good to see. And the minis. Yes, and the minis. I will definitely send you the link. So, I'm recovering from the Joy of 6. Mainly the 2.25 hour train journey each way. Bleeding hell, that is a long one. Why was that? Whew. I hope you picked up plenty of goodies. I actually didn't buy any figures at all, but I did buy some. I did buy some really useful box inserts for my War Master, so that was quite handy. Hello, Paul. Hello, Luke. So, yeah, I know I'm doing this off camera. Sorry, it's because I've got the troops marshaled on camera. Let me pull that back a little bit. Let me get that there. And then there we go. So I'm just super gluing these on. I'm not doing anything super fancy. I might put some polyfiller on the bases, or I might just sand over the bases. I haven't quite decided yet. I've started polyfillering all of my bases now, but I haven't done that for the rest of the army. So will it look silly if one unit's got it done and the rest don't? So that's my concern there. Of course, the obvious answer is to rebase the whole rest of the army, but I would rather poke hot pins in my eyeballs than do that. These are the Victrix Household Cavalry, for anyone who's not sure. These are a lovely set, actually. I've got 2 sets of them. This set is the more complete. And then I've got the Horse Guards, the blues, are to come as well. So they're a little less complete than these, but they'll be in next. These are 50 by 50 mil bases, and that horse you can see extends over the back of the base, and he's at an angle as well, so it shows that these are beefy boys. My plan will be the current 10 by 4 table, 6 by 4 to one side to make the entire front side anchor. Yeah, that's cool. So it'd be like an L. So yeah, that makes sense. Thomas McConaughey, love the content. Thank you very much, buddy. Just starting Napoleonics again. That's what we like to see. So I had a French army, Napoleon's Irish Legion set to face the Black Watch. Well, I have done a multi-part series on the Irish Legion. If you've not watched it, I dare say I'm quite proud of that one. So I would recommend checking that one out. Particularly Captain Byrne. He is absolutely badass. So, of course, it helps that he wrote the book, doesn't it? But still. Now, this one here, he's got a cheeky little bit of flash on the bottom there. That's what inspired you to the Irish Legion. Well, that's good to hear, man. No, genuinely, that is good to hear. Thank you. That's what we like. We like the inspiration. So we pop them on there. As you can see, these guys haven't got heads yet, but I'm not too concerned about that because I can do the heads after the. I can do the heads when they're on the bases without too much difficulty. This guy here, I need to make sure that he's not poking his companion in the side of the head. So we'll try and straighten him up when we glue him on. Again, sorry, I realise I'm doing this off camera. It's just putting some stripes of super glue on the old the bottom of the horses, then pop them on the base. I'm just letting the weight of the model secure it to the base. So they're not going to be like needing dynamite to take off in case I decide to rebase them in the future. I was planning on doing 2 bases of 3 at the back, 75 mil by 50 mil, and then 3 bases of 50 mil squares at the front. But I could not find my 75 by 50 mil bases. I may have used them all, to be fair. So I thought we'd just go with the classic 50 by 50. Now, there were only 250. There were 2 squadrons of each household regiment at Waterloo. So I may end up just making it either a unit of 6 or a unit of 8. But it's there if we need it. Now, I've got a couple of spare arms here, which I did get rid of because I didn't like. So this one here, so it's a right arm, and I didn't like how it was on the model. Let me see if I've changed my mind. I have changed it sufficiently to glue his arm on, just because then at least he's done. So I'm going to glue this arm on here. Make sure it's nice and high. So make sure with the headless cavalry, yeah, absolutely, yeah. The Hessians are coming. Oh, didn't need it that high. That high I'll do. You know what, actually, I don't like this model. I do not like this guy. Although he's not bad. Who else do I not like? He's a little bit lame as well, isn't he? I'll tell you what. That one there. I've just noticed, actually, I've painted up an extra model. So this is the joy of not slamming them down on the base. Is cutting away from my finger because I'm a sensible person like that. I'm going to remove this guy from the base. Gonza. Who, sir? Me, sir? Yes, sir. You, sir. So he's gone. And instead, his place is going to be taken by this guy. So there's going to be a wounded guy in the unit, just to break it up a little bit. So let's just get rid of these. Now, if you're coming down there, then we've got a nice little wounded guy to break up the unit a little bit. I might. It might be better in the flank, to be honest. Let's see. So I could glue him back on there, and then this guy's a bit lame, isn't he? So yeah, let's do that. This guy's had a reprieve. Just trim that off there. This is one of the bonuses of doing an extra model, is that you can you've got a bit of leeway on what you want to do there. But yeah, I want the casualty to be in the front rank, I think. So I'll have him next to the trumpeter. The extra wheelers with the headless cavalry in case I blunder. Well, I mean, there's a very good chance of me blundering and charging into artillery, isn't there? Let's be honest. Although, you know, you're only as good as your battle. Maybe I've found my calling. Maybe I am the new General Pajol himself. Who knows? So I'll put one there. This guy's resin, so he's got a little bit more glue on him. And it doesn't matter so much if the horse sticks out the side. So there we are. Puffy. So that's good. That is good. Push him down a little bit. Make sure he glued on properly. After his near escape, and let us check the comments, because I've seen they're coming in thick and fast today, which is good. It's good. Mick, you might be able to find someone that can 3D print some in PLA. Okay. What we after? Thank you, Interguard Mod. You may have already gone, but was Atlantic Rifleman? Oh, very nice. Does anyone know a spy that sells cannons or water artillery that shot matchsticks? Me or mates look, I only see anti-wall stuff. Is there a modern company? I've got no idea, mate, to be honest. H.G. Wells styley. I'm sure they will be out there somewhere. There's crossbows and catapults. They use rubber bands to fire stuff out. One other player. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. That's all you need, man. That's all you need. Hot take. I will base check on one figure before adding the others because I can't buy filling around between the horses. Yeah, you know what? That's fair enough, mate. I cannot fault you on that one. I've got some coffee stirrers that I use to get in there, so that should be okay. We've got a little conveyor belt thingy, Lego, and the idea to shoot the minis as they go around with the artillery pieces. It's a fundraiser, so that's cool. That's a good idea. What did I think of the show? Yeah, I thought it was very good, actually. It's not necessarily my my bag. I got there about 12:30 because my sister was visiting. Yeah, no, it was pretty good. The Mons game I thought was very good. But that's a battle that's interested me for a while, so that was good. Had a chat with Alex and James, so it was nice to see those guys. But yeah, no, it wasn't too bad at all. Spent more money than I intended to, so that's what else can you ask? Right, so as the more astute amongst you noticed, these guys have no heads, so let us get on with doing some noggins. So there were some old Lego cannons. That's a good point. Yeah, they used to fire the little round single block thing, didn't they? Yes, it was from the Pirates. Yeah. Get yourself on AliExpress, man. Oh, there's a bit less water in there than I thought that was. But that's okay. So we're just going with the contrast paint here. Gilliman Flesh. Nice and simple. I've already re-undercoated the flesh with skeleton bone. Is it skeleton bone? Wraithbone. So I'm just slapping on the old contrastio, as the Italians will call it, and getting it going on. I tried Peter Dennis from Paper Soldiers about the artillery. Yeah, no, that's a fair point, actually. Yeah, good shout. Yeah, he likes the that sort of old school. But yes, Dan, that was also a good suggestion. The old Lego cannons. Do we have any other poets from the west coast of Scotland in chat? Well, I don't know, Jackson. Are you going to Leipzig? When is it? It's soon, isn't it? Is it next weekend? Yeah, not this weekend. Weekend after. So get yourself along to that, brother. We always need more commanders. I think I'm an allied commander, so unusual for me. I normally like my Frenchies, but I think I'm a Kaiserlich for this one, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Something a little bit different. Let's caught up with Paul. Oh yes, I did see Paul there as well. Actually, he caught me while I was having a muffin. Alex, Jason, Kev from the club. But I guess, yeah, I did have a look around for you, David. I did not see you, but as I say, I got there late, so I thought you might have been and gone, to be honest. But it sounds like if you were travelling for 2.5 hours, maybe you were maybe you were there longer than I thought. It was so hot as well. It wasn't too hot in the building. The aircon was quite good, but yeah, no, it was a hot day on Sunday. So once again, I'm just going around on these. As you can see, these are the horse guards that I've done. So they're pretty much there as well. I'll need to re-highlight the straps, but we've we've had enough Wednesdays of re-highlighting straps, and after my day today, re-highlighting straps was not the move. Hello, Paul. Nice to see you, buddy. I did give you a bell earlier on, but I thought you might be working, so no worries. The Blues, yeah, well, they're officially the Royal Horse Guards, I believe. But see if Clive were here, he'd know. I believe they're officially the Royal Horse Guards, but I tend to call them the Blues. In fact, I tend to call them Blues and Royals, although the Royals came later. But I got there at 12 and left at the end. Ken Riley collared me as soon as I well, that might be why then. I might have, I might have missed you there. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I was tempted to buy some. So those of you who don't know, one of my other big periods that I enjoy is, well, it used to be called modern, as opposed to like ultra modern. But yeah, I guess it's Cold War, so sort of Team Yankee. And now I play it in 1/300 scale, which is 6 mil. So there were a couple of manufacturers there. I was tempted to get a Barantino for my Rushkies, which is it's a big missile launcher. It's basically like a missile launcher flamethrower. It's not very unpleasant. But to be honest, in the end, I got to the Heroics and Ross stand, and I couldn't remember the number for it, and I was like, oh, you know what, I've already spent enough. So I picked up their catalog there, so I might order some from them. I also might grab some Humvees as well because I thought they were pretty good value. Jackson, I am not giving serious consideration of getting back to the hobby after a 30-year absence. Do it. Being a wargamer is a little bit like being an alcoholic, in so much as you never leave it, bro. It's always there. You know, every day you've got to have the struggle. So, but when you did play 30 years ago, what was your period? What was the thing that you were interested in, or was it like G-Dub or something like that, or did you play historicals back there? I've recently got this out for the lads. So this is something that I'm looking forward to really getting into. Again, some of you will know I absolutely love my biblicals. So I did drop bigly in volunteering for the. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the biblicals. Although I never use brass or bronze or anything, so I'm going to use some copper here, and I'm going to use the copper on the chin scales and the front of the helmets. Now the officer, he obviously gets gold, but everyone else gets this one. Now the reason I use copper is they should really be brass. But the problem I have with brass is I don't think it looks very good. It looks far too red. What one could say, it looks too brassy. I just think it looks a bit silly. Now I know that's stupid to say when you say, well, how can brass not look like brass? It's brass. But I tend to find that the coppers are a much nicer yellow. So there's this is fulgurite copper, and you also get Hashut copper as well. Now Hashut is the god of the Chaos Dwarves, so clearly that's better than any other kind of copper. But I I grabbed this one first, so this is the one I'm going to use today. Now I need to put one to one side for the officer, otherwise I'll paint them all. So let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, yeah, so I've only got 8 heads to do, so I need to make sure that I do gold on one of them. I saw the panels on, and I was thinking of staying for it. I didn't in the end. How was the panel? I listened to it a couple of years ago. To be honest, I found it incredibly frustrating. So that was one of the reasons I didn't stay. There was a lot of talk about how a company's planning on expanding into China, which I couldn't really understand. A, why wargaming companies would necessarily want to expand into China, and B, why people sat in a room in Sheffield were bothered about whether companies would expand into China or not. So that was number one. And then number two, I remember this very distinctly. The head of Bacchus Miniatures, who puts on the Joy of Six, who's a lovely, lovely fella, said that he believed, and then the rest of the panel nodded sagely alongside him, that 3D printing was a fad and wouldn't affect figure manufacturers in the future. Which I have to say, as I say, I think the man's a lovely chap. That is perhaps one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. I mean, that's like Games Workshop levels of not being able to see what's coming down the pike. Let's put it that way. So that was why I didn't stay for the panel, because last time I found it very, very frustrating. And I'm the kind of person who likes to say stuff if I strongly disagree with someone. I don't necessarily believe in deference when it comes to these kind of things. So I thought it best if I not experience that. Now, these are almost like Austrian helmets on the front here. Maybe I've just got Austrians in the brain because I'm getting my Austrian on next weekend. But yeah, sort of with them being flat at the side there, they look a bit like the Austrian helmet plates. God, I've not paid Austrians in ages. I'm looking forward to seeing them. Blues and Royals merged in 1972. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was much later than the Napoleonic period. It's just what I've always called them, to be honest. It's like particularly my earlier videos, you'll see me a lot talking about the names of the regiments, of British regiments, and I'm aware that they didn't really have those names in the Napoleonic period, but it's just a lot more evocative to say, the Connaught Rangers, or maybe they did, but to say stuff like the South Devon, the West Kents, or something like that. Then the South Wales borderers are the 24th of foot. Seems a bit lame. So that's why I like going for the regimental names, even if they're not necessarily historically accurate to the time. It was Warhammer, but I couldn't get past Magic. Oh, see, well, I don't know, man. See, I kind of like the Magic in Warhammer. Well, I've said that if it was 30 years ago, what we're talking? We're talking 1990s. So that would be like fourth ed, which was the ed that I grew up with. And I have to say, I think eighth ed was the best one. So I can, yeah, it's fair enough. It's fair enough. I'm not going to criticize you for that one. So what we fun to see is back powder, frontage base, stuff like dudes on base with 10mm frontage. But though, yeah, you know, well, that's the question I was going to ask, actually. I was going to ask you, David, see what you thought about this. One of the things that they had, so they had, now I've got some Americans in the audience here, so I'm going to apologize to them in advance. Is it the Apatomax? Was that a thing? Appomattox, something like that. Apologies, I can't remember the exact thing, but so I think they were refighting that one, and they had like a unit was consisted of 3 bases of 20mm by 40mm, so a bit like Black Powder, really. But a battalion would be 15 6mm figures. Maybe they were 10mm, but they were little anyway. And I'm like, for me, the whole point of doing Napoleonics in that scale, of doing wargaming in that scale, would be, so for argument's sake, if I had, so this is my unit of cavalry, as we've just seen. I've just based them. That's my unit of cavalry there. So their frontage is 150mm. They're 100 deep. Now, for me, if I was doing Napoleonics in 6mm, I would want the unit to be that big, and I would want the 250 men who were at Waterloo, I would want 250 models on that base. The base is, that's this big. So a bit like my Cossacks. So my Cossacks here. So my Cossacks are on a single base. And I would want this base filled with Cossacks. Now, you wouldn't necessarily have hundreds of Cossacks on there. You might have like a little farm or some trees or something like that. But I'd be much tempted to model the individual units and just have, all right, here's my unit of Cossacks. It's this big and it's got 2 models on. That really put me off. So if there's any 6mm, 10mm gamers out there, what's your thoughts on that? Am I looking at it from the wrong angle? Or is that something that, is that the dream one day? I don't know. Panel was interesting. We discussed difficult periods for 6mm gaming. Medieval, for instance, very few pitched battles, better for skirmish. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I noticed that backers don't do, quotes, modern. I noticed they don't do post-World War II, which I thought was quite strange. I'd have thought ultra-modern would have been quite difficult to do as well, because you've got, I mean, if you're doing, say, Afghanistan or something like that, the Taliban army is a dude on a motorbike with an RPG. So, yes, although I've said that, Alex and Dex were playing Skirmish Sangin at the club a couple of weeks ago, and that looked awesome. That was really good. They were doing like a Mexican cartel themed game. That looked really cool. So the officer, I'll do his little star as well. These will be good if anyone has them spare for some reason. I don't know why you would, but they'd be good for the Chevalier Guard or the Cuirassiers with the Knights of St. John. They'd be good for that as well. So, Lifeguard horse. Let me see. I'm just checking to see whether this is white or gold. I suspect it's probably white, but let's see. Napoleon. Here we are. Here's a nice bit of artwork from the old Revel box cover. That's what I like to see. Let's get zoomed in on that bad boy. It looks like it might be gold on that one. But what I have seen is that the brass thing goes all the way around as well. So that's something I'm going to have to go back to. Here we go. I should have just gone to Mont Saint Jean straight away, shouldn't I? I don't know why I messed around. Oh, no, it looks like it's gold on here. But then having said that, the saddlecloth's also grey as well. So, never mind, eh? Mine's a fancy schmancy one. He's having gold. There you go. If the colonel of the lifeguard cavalry can't have gold on his saddlecloth, then who can? Who can? Right, yeah. So, which uniforms do I think are the best? Oh, well, I've done. I think I've done a video on this actually. If you're looking at the uniform overall as a uniform, then I'm going to have to go with if it's the baby pink, the Grand Duchy of Berg Lancers. But there are people who say they didn't actually wear that. So I'm going to have that as my honourable mention for the best uniform. You know what? I'm going to go controversial. This is straight off the top of my head. I haven't really thought about it too much, so I'm going to go with. I'm probably going to go with Austrian Hussars. Actually, there's one regiment who've got green shakos. Actually, there's a French unit with green shakos as well. But yeah, I'm going to go with Austrian Hussars, which is what you'd expect. Hungarian Hussars, I guess. If you had to be infantry, probably the Pavlovsky Grenadiers, I would say, or just the French Old Guard. You've got to love the French Old Guard. You got to love the fact they wore tailcoats throughout the war. I like that. I like the fact they were formally dressed for dinner throughout the whole war. That's as an Englishman, I got to appreciate that. Someone told me that 28mm is God's scale. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who that was. I mean, he was there, wasn't he, Ken? So yeah, well, she said he grabbed you. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing with 6mm. I was shocked, is what I was. I was agog. So here we go. This is gets rid of that Austrian feeling that I had earlier on. So that's a bit of a shame. I was enjoying that. And it goes up here as well. It actually goes up a lot higher than I thought it did. Now, one thing, it might also go in here as well. Let me just check. It does. Oh, God. All right, I'm not sure my brush is up to this. Let's see. Ye gods. Let's find out. I'm aware that the sprue's in the way of the camera here, so apologies for that. Oh. I was 6mm for the speed of painting, ease of storage, and you know what? Actually, I've been painting some 10mm knights recently, and yes, I agree with you. The speed of painting, I've actually really enjoyed painting them. It's the first models I've enjoyed painting in quite a while, to be honest. There's a peek behind the curtain for you. I can kit bash kilted Frenchman and say hangovers to jackpot. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Oh, sorry, Luke, who said that. Sorry, yes. But lottery win. Occasionally 10mm dabbler. I do find the appeal of small scales more realistic ground scale. That is true. Yes, that is absolutely true, actually, to be fair. The King, yeah, well, yeah, I'm not sure. Well, he was at Salamanca, wasn't he? The King, old George IV. Hot day, wasn't it, Dick? Stiflingly hot day. If you've seen Sharp's Regiment. If you haven't seen Sharp's Regiment, well, you need to watch it because that's a great episode. That's one where Sean Bean actually had a horse stand on his head. So, yeah. 6mm, I think it makes 60mm by 30mm, which means more. Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, well, that's one of the big things. No, there isn't, Jackson. The epic frontage is the same. However, I recommend only using 3 bases instead of the 4 that Epic suggests. So that will reduce the frontage by a quarter. So you get me with the maths. You didn't think I had it in me, did you? So hopefully, what time are we on? Oh, you got plenty of time. I thought it was later than that. Fantastic. Right, we're definitely going to get these heads on then. That is really good news. What I want to get done today is I want to get the heads on and the hilts of the sabers should also be brass as well. The handguard and the pommel. So I'm going to try and get them done as well. But what I want today really to be is the unit to be usable on the tabletop. Now I've obviously got this wounded guy on the end, and I haven't started painting him yet. And there's a guy with no arm, so he's going to have his arm painted as well. But by and large, the unit is usable on the tabletop once it's been based, obviously. That's the plan for today. Oh no, I did the sides. Oh no, that's the gold one. So I did do the sides on him. A brigade at the Grand Tactical level has at the most 80mm frontage in 6mm, more often 60mm. Yeah, that's fair enough. So that would be about the frontage of a company for French anyway. So about three models wide, which is pretty cool. I mean, it means that on 6mm you can either have a small table and play a normal sized game, or you can have a normal sized table and have an absolutely massive game. So yeah, no, I can definitely see the appeal. I think if I were to start collecting Napoleonics now, so I first started in 15mm. If I were to start from scratch now, I would probably, if I'm honest, go 18mm and go with who are the ones who do 18mm? What are they called? Those ones anyway. Although I would be sorely tempted to go with the Warlord Epics, if I'm honest, because I think they are really nice actually. If given a choice, which Napoleonic army would I like to have joined? Certainly not the Prussians. Running the gauntlet would, well, I mean, I wouldn't steal anything, so I wouldn't need to run the gauntlet. Probably the French, to be honest. If I'm honest, the French. Although, not if we were about to invade Russia. I wouldn't fancy that very much. But in 1803, yeah, absolutely. 100%. Or maybe early on in the revolution, where you could make a name for yourself, which would either see rapid promotion or you getting a visit to Madame la Guillotine. So I suspect I would have been visiting Madame la Guillotine. So you can get Gettysburg on a 6x4. Now, I don't really know much about Gettysburg as a battlefield. Is it a big battlefield, or is it? I mean, some of you may be shocked to hear that I was surprised by how small the Waterloo battlefield was, but I may have mentioned it once or twice in my video. But yeah, I mean, is that a small battlefield by ACW standards? You know, I really wish that I'd got more into American Civil War. There's some really cool stuff like that, and I love the fact that there's photographs of it. That's the thing that I love about the American Civil War. But I feel like I don't have the brain bandwidth for the American Civil War. I feel like it's one of those things that has just got so much to know about it, and is so well documented. And you know, I mean this in the best possible way. So many Americans get so particularly obsessed about it that you know, all of those little things are out there. So it's such a deep subject to learn about. But I don't feel like I've got the bandwidth for the American Civil War and the Napoleonic Wars. Went a little bit over on the gold, the brass there. So a little bit of black to push back. The Prussians do have a good bit, that is true, but they were very fond of corporal punishment. Now, you know, I like to get my corporal punishment when I've paid for it. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, they were pretty vicious. Obviously, the Brits, we had flogging. So yeah, that's also not cool. Also, one of the other things with the Brits as well is we've got territories all over the place. Now, if you're going to say to me, Tim, you are going to be on garrison duty in the Bahamas for the whole time, and you are immune to malaria, because I don't want to get malaria. So if I'm on guard duty in the Bahamas the whole time, then maybe the Brits aren't so bad. But yeah, if I'm going to be marching across Spain with the constant threat of floggings and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I think I'll take the French, thanks. But with my size and girth, I'd probably be like a grenadier or something anyway. Now, I did read the other day, actually. I was looking on Plastic Soldier Review. If anyone's interested in 20 mil, sorry, if anyone's interested in 20 mil, Plastic Soldier Review is probably the best website on the internet. So I was on there the other day, and I was looking at the reviews from World War II Japanese, and they were saying that the figures were a bit too beefy for to be historically accurate. In 1940, the average Japanese male was 4'11". I was like, that's shorter than my mum. So yeah, I can't believe that. Well, I mean, I can believe it, but it did shock me. So yeah, back in Napoleonic times, I guess they were probably about that size as well. Maybe a little bit taller, but yeah, there you go. How about posting in household cavalry? Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but you've got to hang around with all those Ruperts and horses. I don't like horses. I got bitten by a horse when I was a kid, so I've not liked horses since then. Try chatting with a Texan about their independence when all you know is the Alamo and a couple of names. That's a list. I can imagine. So, evening, Dom. How you doing, bud? Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. I believe Texans are quite proud of their history. 411 better fight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I guess that explains why they could dig in so quickly, I suppose. Yeah, so there was some like 100 and I mean, I don't know exactly. It was something like 150 centimeters, and I was like, "Well, what's that in freedom units?" So I asked Mr. Google, and yeah, it came up with 4'11". I was yeah. It's small. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. My one was tiny. To be fair, though, I think a Banzai charge from my mum would have probably been scarier than a Banzai charge from a whole company of Japanese. Bahamas death sentence if you're immune to malaria, you're buzzed. Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, someone once said actually, they were like, if you could travel back in time, yeah, and someone said to you, all right, so yeah, you were like, yeah, I am from the future. No, okay, well, what have they got in the future? Prove it. What have they got in the future? You'd be like, okay, well, they've got TVs. And okay, well, can you make a TV? I'm like, no. Mobile phones, computers. Can you make either of these? I'm like, no. One thing I could do though is I know that quinine is the cure for malaria, so I could invent the gin and tonic if I went back in time. So that could be a thing. I mean, Hadrian's Wall is the same size now as it was in the Romans as the Scots back. I mean, who knows? Yeah. No, it's let me see if I can. See, I've made this claim now, and it sounds silly to me to say it, and I can tell people are skeptical, and they are right to be skeptical. Let's see. Oh, look at that. You put in PL, and the first thing that comes up is Plastic Soldier Review. That's what I'm talking about. Right, so World War II listing. So, other. How is China in there, but Japan's not? It's crazy. Okay. World War II. Ah, right, we are right. Japanese. I'm pretty sure it was. Or was it tank? It might have been the tank crew I was looking at actually. So, incidentally, yeah, the Japanese tank crew by Orion. So Orion is a Eastern European company. They're not very good, but their Japanese tank crew are absolutely gorgeous. They're yeah, they're really nice models. Nope, it wasn't that. This is probably what I was looking at when I should have been learning the new computer system. That probably that might be one of the reasons why why it's not going so well. Yeah, you see, man, this is what I'm telling you. Yeah, it's scarier than you'd think. Let's have a look. It was. I'm not going to be able to find it now, am I? Was it Waterloo 1815, maybe? Yo, hang on, yeah, he talks about being too tall here. Right, here we are. Oh no, that's the length of the weapon. Now, Waterloo 1815 they do really nice Napoleonics, but not so good for the World War II, I don't think. Nope, not the SU ones. SU ones are cool. No, I can't find it on here, I'm afraid. But yeah, no, I'm sure it said they were small. Now, I did hear that the officers, it was a bit like the Yagogi, a bit like the Spartan thing. So the officers from a young age were taken away from, like, sort of went to military school, and as part of their training, they were expected to eat less than everyone else and like steal what they needed and all this kind of stuff, which meant that their bones didn't develop properly. So I did hear that in the Pacific, the Americans were just like literally punching them to death because their like, you know, their ribs and stuff weren't as strong as some corn-fed Ohio boy's fist. So, but yeah, I mean, I was in the Napoleonic Wars. There was the general. I can't remember who it was. One of the generals. He was wounded, wasn't he? By being punched in the chest by a French cuirassier. So, you know, yeah, it's people back then weren't as nutritionally impressive as we are today, I guess. I'm from the future. I can make you pancakes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a good one. Can you let's see peanut butter? You could have invented peanut butter. You see, that's an. Although, you know, I mean, that would yeah, that might actually be culturally insensitive. So you might not want to do that. I'm from the future. I can tell you who's going to win. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Douglas, you might not want to lead that charge on the Somme. Maybe it's all American Civil War, but I'm a Jack Daniels and Coke drinker doing it now. Good man. Yeah, I like a Jack Daniels and Coke as well, I have to say. Although I finished my bottle of Jack Daniels the other day, so I bought some on the way to Waterloo. I bought some quite expensive Japanese whiskey. I may have to end up adulterating that with some Coke. Coca-Cola for the YouTube algorithm out there. So, Mum's charge for yeah, that's it. Yeah, if they give you your full name, yeah, that is time to go. Especially if they're holding a slipper as well, just a single slipper. Yeah, that's when you know you done messed up, when the slippers come in. As the improvised throwing weapon gets you. Texans are proud. Don't forget they were independent. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, nothing. No shade from for those guys. Absolutely not. That was weird. Have I tried Vallejo dipping wash? I haven't actually. I saw a video on it and it looked interesting to paint on, not dip. I have not, Dom. I shall check it out, mate. I'm all for sort of dips and washes and things like that. I tend not to use dips so much because I would use a color specific wash. So I'd wash red with red, for argument's sake, or whatever. But to be honest, a dip would probably be okay. And actually, I could. That's a really good shout, because I've just started doing a bit more terrain. So a dip is obviously a lot cheaper than a wash. So yeah, I could do with some of that. Very much so. G&T, one of man's greatest inventions ever. Yeah, no, I do like a G&T. To be honest, I'm going to be perhaps controversial here and put it behind a Pims. But yes, no, I do like a G&T. I bring you beans on toast. Right, yeah, no, the Americans need to stop the whole beans on toast thing. Beans on toast is one of the best dishes ever created. I'm sorry, I know you don't think it is, but you're wrong. It is absolutely amazing. A bit of beans on toast as comfort food is absolutely amazeballs. Oh yeah, but we get soul food. Yeah, it takes you like 3 days to cook. So don't give me that. No. Beans on toast is the absolute goat. My wife is 5'1.5" and pretty scary. Well, exactly. This is my point. Yeah. Now imagine her shouting banzai and running out of the jungle at you. Yeah, that is scary. I like an egg on my beans. Yeah, you can put a boiled egg in there. That is true. That is true. I do like a boiled egg. Yeah, introducing to Marmite. Yeah, well, I mean, I assume it's an invention that they're not going to put you to death for giving to them. So I heard the high growth in Japan was due to beef being. I heard similar. I heard in Hong Kong that they were growing taller because kids were eating more Western food, and by Western food I mean like KFC. So yes, no, I have heard that. Yeah. Beans on toast is awful. I'm like, well, yeah, well, it's not that it's awful. It's that you're allergic to. Well, that's fair enough. But I mean, come on, man. It's cheap. Dom's keeping it sensible. Thank you, Dom. It's cheaper than null oil. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's good. Null oil is great, but it is very expensive. And I'm just about to do some Romans actually, so that might be handy for that. It doesn't have enough corn syrup. They have that weird bacon as well, don't they? Now my camera is, or my computer. Oh no, we're still good to go. My camera says it's overheating. That was a jump scare for anyone seeing my sweaty hair there. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to start drawing it to a close because I am overheating, apparently. Apparently these household cavalry are getting so hot that they're causing a breakdown. So it was all the bees on toast. Yeah, that's absolutely what it was. Yeah. The camera's like, you know what? I'm off to get some beans on toast. And quite right, too. Have I tried running under the cold tap? Yeah, no, I am silly. I'm not quite that silly though. So what I am doing though is, am I silly enough to have glued the officer's head on the wrong model? I mean, yes, I am that silly. Have I done it though? That's the question. It's possible, not improbable. Oh, they're both brass. Well, pretty sure if I can't tell, it obviously doesn't matter, does it? All right, okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll crack on for another couple of minutes. I just want to get the rest of these heads on, and then we are good to go. This Leipzig meet of which I speak is not this weekend, next weekend. It's in Glasgow, near Ajax. It is Saturday Night Leipzig. It's called. If you go on Facebook, that's the group for it. Stuart's running it, and it looks like it's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm really, really looking forward to it. JD and Coke was good enough for Lemmy, and I talk about the pint. Yeah, no, I do. Oh yeah, no, you got me thinking about JD and Coke now. I haven't got any though. I have to try this Japanese stuff. I'm definitely gonna have to find out where it said that they were like 4'11" as well. No, I've checked the SU ones. It wasn't that one. But yeah, no, seriously, if you haven't, if you're interested in 20mm, even if you're not interested in 20mm, to be honest, Plastic Soldier Review is a fantastic website. Really, really good. It's got some good like history on there and things like that. Yeah, no, would recommend. It's a really, really good website. So here's another noggin that can go on here. I don't know what the hell I've done with the officer's head. As I say, he's going to be holding the standard very historically inaccurately. But there we go. That's that is the unit done. Bar the officer's head and the standard bearer's arm and the wounded casualty. But there we go. That is them. Hopefully, we'll never see them again. Yeah, no. So they're pretty much there. They need a bit more touching up, and then they'll need basing, and then they're good to go. But I'm going to knock it on the head there, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's been we've had more than normal in today, so thank you to everyone who's returned or I've not seen in a while. It's nice to see you, and thank you to the guys who are here week in, week out. It's always nice to see you guys. There should be a video this weekend. There should have been one last weekend, but unfortunately, it didn't quite get it. After I went to the Joy of Six, I then went to a barbecue and had some beers. So I suggested it might not be a good idea to do a video. But yes, there should be one this week, hopefully. And failing that, I will hopefully see you up in Glasgow. But thank you very much, guys. And yes, Gruesome Dread, I will forward that thing to you as we speak. But thank you very much, guys, and I will see you guys later.